We now ask your indulgence to put your phone off with the exception of the journalists we have here that are using their phone for recording. The rest of you, put your phone off or on silent. So, ladies and gentlemen, by the way of introduction, my name is Aaron G. Nelson. I am the Assistant Secretary General for Press and Propaganda, the Liberian People's Party, LPP. So, what I shall do, I'd like to say a pleasant welcome to all of you who have come to make this day a historic one. So before we proceed, let me go by the protocol proceeding with respect to the recognition of the hierarchy we have in the party. So we start out with the most powerful president of the party chairman, Comrade J. Yangwe Zizi, is the chairman of the party. We'd like to recognize the former standard bearer of the Liberian People's Party, LPP, Councillor Tiawon Safe Gonglo. We'd like to recognize the former vice standard bearer, Dr. Emmanuel Yure Yakbaulo. We'd like to recognize the vice chair for the administration, Mr. King. We'd like to recognize the vice chair for operations, Mr. Stephen Riggs. We'd like to recognize the vice chair for recruitment and mobilization, Mr. Major T. Samuka. We'd like to recognize another powerful person in the party who heads the secretariat, Mr. Leon M. Tarrant, the General Secretary, the National General Secretary of the party. We'd like to recognize our very heads. Let's start out with the very organizations we have. We start out with Team Gongo, Liberia. We'd like to recognize Councillor Jimmy Sabombo, who is the chair for Team Gongo, Liberia. Not forgetting our supporters and executives for the diaspora and around the world. We recognize the presence. We'd like to recognize the very auxiliary heads. We'd like to recognize our district coordinators, not forgetting the National Congress, the county chairpersons that make up the National Congress. We'd like to recognize you are present. We'd like to recognize the very organizations, our supporters, the journalists, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am honored at this hour with heartfelt felicitation to the spolium, the most powerful president of the party, LPP, we're going to read out to you LPP's position statement. Mr. J. Yangwe Zizi, chairman of the party, you are highly welcome to this podium. And while the chairman is coming, before he takes the podium, let me say to you, right after the position statement has been read, there will be no question. Thank you. God bless you. Good morning or good afternoon to all. Thank you for coming to say hello to good, loving people in TV land. Hello to good, lovely people in Radio Land. Thank you, but
We also want to recognize certain individuals that the master of ceremony apparently didn't see. We have another Coleman, Gabriel Coleman, a stakeholder. We have Setu Kangwe, his father pictures is out there. The guy who controls our website. We have Nakape here, communication director. We have the powerful financial director, Dr. Pasuku. He controls our money here for the campaign. If there are other people that we didn't see, we say we're sorry. Before we come to the major tasks of today, we want to take this opportunity to say thanks to our many supporters in Liberia, outside Liberia, for the support we received. We came from a zero balance in 2019. We now have $68,000 in our balance sheet. Check with the NEC. We file our documents. We were zero, but today we are somebody. Today, if you go in the streets and you see the broom, they recognize LPP, they recognize Councillor Tiawonse Gonglo, and they recognize our Black Dama, Dr. Imaria Yuri Yapaw. So today, we are present in the lives of the Liberian people. We're calling on our supporters that yes, we have come thus far. Please don't give up. We still have more war to fight. Please stay with us. We are the real soldiers that you can rely on to move forward. We are the soldiers who are prepared and disciplined to move forward. We are the soldiers who know how to fight the war. We are the soldiers who've been committed since many years ago. Please join us to fight this war to redeem Liberia. Now, let me come to the task that the party has given me to perform. The position statement of the Liberian People's Party, LPP, and its various auxiliaries on the upcoming second round of the presidential elections delivered by the chairman of the Liberian People's Party, LPP, at the headquarters of the party in Congo Town, Mosorado County, on Wednesday, October 25th, 2023, at 11, but I think it's about 11. Thank you. Fellow Liberians, the National Election Commission, NEC, announced on Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, that no presidential candidate attained votes of 50% plus one, as required by the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Therefore, the NEC does not have the percentage of votes required to declare the winner of the presidential election. However, the results show that the Liberian electorates voted for two of the 20 presidential candidates virtually on an equal basis. The two presidential candidates are from the current ruling party, the Coalition for Democratic Change, CDC, and the former ruling party, the Unity Party, the UP. The Liberian people will be going to the polls again to vote for the two remaining presidential candidates in order for the NEC to declare the winner of the presidential election. We were brutally critical of these two parties that are going into the final round during the campaign based on their records of governance. 6 years, 12 years, respectively. Despite our critical views of the two parties preferred by the Liberian people, of Liberian voters, our party, the Liberian People's Party, LPP, must make a decision whether to tell our partisans to remain neutral or to choose one of the candidates based on broad consultations conducted with our partisans and members of the various auxiliary groups in Liberia and the diaspora that supported our presidential candidate, Councillor Tiawanse Gonglo, and his running mate, Dr. Imayoke Yuri Yakbaulu, we have decided to support one of the candidates in the presidential election. It was difficult to reach this decision because we ran on a campaign based on a platform for the transformation of Liberia into a better country. Our platform was summarized into what we refer to as 10-point agenda for a better Liberia. Among other things, the 10-point agenda for a better Liberia calls for strengthening the rule of law, combating corruption, beginning with publication of assets and salaries of government officials, conducting quarterly lifestyle audits, dismissing and prosecuting those found to be corrupt, taking bold and measurable steps to provide free, compulsory, and quality education to Liberian children from kindergarten to 12th grade, eliminating adult illiteracy and providing technical and vocational education to high school dropouts and graduates in order to prepare them for employment. Our platform also provides for improving our health sector and making all government hospitals and clinics freely accessible to pregnant women, children under the age of 5, and all Liberians at age 65 years and above, mechanizing rice production throughout Liberia, and establishing public workstations in the 15 counties to keep the highways and farm to market roads maintained throughout the year. Why? Gradually paving them as well as giving tax incentives to investors for companies that locate their factories 50 miles away from Monrovia. Our determination as a party to transform Liberia is symbolized by the broom, the symbol of the Liberian People's Party, LPP. However, we were told by the Liberian people that our platform and our presidential candidate were good. But this is not our time. Wait for 2029. They repeated everywhere we went. Whatever it was in Liberia, outside of Liberia, that's what we were told. You are good, but wait for 2029. We are choosing one of the parties based on our expectation that the party that we choose to support will do the following in the first 100 days of its administration. 1. Take measurable steps to improve the rule of law through strengthening the law enforcement and the independence of the judiciary. 2. Publish the asset declaration of all officials of government along with their salaries and benefits. 3. Increase the salaries of civil servants, including police officers, nurses, military and paramilitary, teachers, janitors, etc. 4. Begin quarterly lifestyle audits of officials of government in the executive branch. 5. Take steps towards the investigation of all sanction officials in government with the assistance of the U.S. government. 6. Take steps towards the establishment of a war and economic crimes code. 7. Increase the budget percentage to begin mechanized agriculture and increase percentage for education, agriculture, and health to be at least 15% each in the 2024 national budget, and to put public workstation in the 15 counties in order to improve the freedom of movement during the rainy season. We hereby place a notice the party that we are declaring support for today, that upon its failure to meet these expectations, we will be the first to condemn and criticize them. Let me repeat. We hereby place on notice the party that we are declaring support for today, that upon its failure to meet these expectations, we will be the first to condemn and criticize them. Fellow Liberians, partisans, supporters, and well-wishers of Liberia, today we are faced with extremely difficult choice between two parties that were fiercely criticized by our partisans and supporters at home and abroad. From the broad consultations that we have conducted among our partisans and supporters at home and abroad, as well as our conclusion that the party CDC in power placed Liberia in a virtual intensive care unit, we hereby declare that our party will support the only opposition UP that was chosen by the Liberian people to compete with the ruling party CDC. We call on all our partisans to go out to campaign and vote for the Unity Party to ensure that the Unity Party wins this second round of the 2023 presidential election. LPP says government is a place to serve, not to steal. LPP says government Liberia a better Liberia is possible. I thank you.
Amanda.
You just listened to the Liberian People's Party endorsing Unity Party's Ambassador Joseph Boakai presidential bid here from Congo Town at the headquarters of the LPP. This is Spoon TV, Sylvester Chudo Plays Money, and of course, thanks to following. So absolutely, there's no possibility of asking questions. All right, absolutely, there's no possibility of asking questions as we, the media practitioners, wanted to ask questions as to why it is that LPP at this time endorsing Unity Party's Ambassador Joseph Boakai. But again, according to that, you cannot question the party's decision. And of course, they just, the parties have just made, an endorsement to the Unity Party. And of course, Councillor Gonglo, Tiawan Gonglo, was there. And of course, the national chairperson of the LPP, read the statement, and the entire party, the executives, and the supporters, according to the national chairman who I just listened to, the supporters, executives, and every member of the Liberian People's Party, agrees to support the Unity Party. All right. Specifically, Ambassador Joseph Boakai's presidential bid. So, that it, folks. Thanks so very kindly for watching. Sylvester Chudo Plays Money. Catch you later today.